Hello everyone, it's me, the Thinker. I'm here for episode 2 of Thinking with the Thinker. I honestly, I'm still working up the series, I'll be back in a second. Sorry, I was gonna do a skit, where I was gonna do a little bit where it was like, I'm just gonna be waving the popsicle stick around, but I was like, man, I can't hold this for another second. So, I decided to not do that. But as you can tell, I'm looking a bit snazzy today. I got an important event, so I needed to look as thinky as I can. So I unfortunately do not have much time to record this episode. But that's sort of the art of things. We tend to be rushed. We need to do this now. But it's important to have patience. And that's sort of what this episode is going to be about. Patience. So, a couple days ago, I had somebody contact me, a viewer of mine, and they were talking about how they're finding it difficult to sort of cope with things because it feels like everything is just sort of crashing down on them, falling apart, and they are scared that if they're just going to wait things out, things aren't going to get any better. And I just sort of want to combat a few of those sort of doubts. So, first problem to address that I'm trying. The letter, unfortunately, is not very fresh in my mind. It did sort of speak to me a lot, so I do want to think about a couple of these things. The number one, first thing I want to talk about is, the feeling of everything happening at the same time, everything wrong, crashing down. I sort of want this to be a more condensed version of my first episode, but, sometimes in life is long, and there's bound to be days where it feels like everything is just sort of punching down on you, and you don't really know what to do. And we all go through those things. And the circumstances might not be the same, but I believe that it is a fact that everybody is going to have a worst day of their life. And it's important to try not to sort of think too hard about these things like, oh, was this day really as bad as the other? Oh, these days could be better. Like, it's okay to think those things. They just sort of naturally come to our minds. But it's important to not dwell on those things. Not to dwell on those sort of, ranking the best and worst days, because then that just sort of makes you bitter about the best days, and then on good days, it makes you forget about the bad days, if that makes any sense. Like, just instead of thinking of days in mind, or thinking things like, oh, I was so much younger back then, I won't make those mistakes again, or, oh, things will get better eventually. Well, let me take that back. Sorry, it's just long day, but I just wanted to record this quick little episode. Just don't dwell too hard on ranking these things, and instead just don't focus too much on the days, but focus on the lessons you learn from each day. Instead of thinking like, oh, this happened this day, think, oh, I'm going to do this thing based on this experience, right? And I just want to quickly address something. If it sounds like my words aren't helpful, that's okay. I also wanted this to be a sort of learning experience for myself, as I'm, again, pretty rusty on this. The Thinker was kind of packed away for around a year, so I want to sort of relearn and regrow, but yeah. So, actually, I have an idea. I want to address the feeling of regret too. sort of wishing, I wish I never made that decision, or, oh, imagine how much better things would be if I didn't make this decision. Don't think of the would'ves. Don't think of the could'ves. Don't think of the should'ves. Because at the end of the day, it's not gonna help. Because those things, you can't go back in time and fix your mistakes. What you can do, however, is look at those mistakes, think about what you're gonna do in the future. A big part of it, of patience, is instead of just waiting things out, try to find ways to, instead of waiting things out, try to find ways to get ahead of things. And it's important that you put the initiative on yourself and hold yourself responsible to doing these things. Like, for example, I feel really boring and I feel left out. So instead of thinking, I could have, at the beginning of the year, when I first met them, do this, and this, but, hold on, sorry, I lost my train of thought here. Okay, sorry, let me restart that. So instead of thinking, okay, let's go back to our situation. So maybe you feel really boring about yourself, and you're thinking, I wish I established myself in the beginning. Instead of thinking that, think, from now on, I'm gonna slowly build up this new version of myself that's more social, more active, more boisterous, right? Because things take time, and if you just have that sort of drastic thing, people are gonna sort of feel, So sort of having that slow establishment of yourself, and it's going to feel weird. It's going to feel weird to sort of put yourself in that new position. But it's really important to trust yourself to that these decisions will help me along the way. And if you get a read that, maybe not, think of a different path. And these things are easier said than done, obviously. And it's just generally important not to rush things. I think, based on my experience, when you're going through hard times, hours feel like days, days feel like decades, sorry, let me retrace my steps. Days feel like hours. You get the idea. The time feels long, and it may feel like, I'm gonna make these changes now, and I'm already feeling better, and maybe, okay, hold on, I'm losing my train of thought. Maybe there's like little sparks where you're like, I'm feeling so much better. I think I'm ready to jump into this thing right away. That's great that you feel that way, but hold on a second, because if you just sort of jump into things, maybe it might not go how you intend, because nothing really in life goes the way you intended all the time. And if you don't have those proper changes in your personality and in sort of yourself, your internal self, then that's when, stuff starts to reverse and starts to fall back, because you haven't sort of built this new mindset. You're still sort of with the old self, you're still with your old self, but sort of illusioned into thinking, I'm different now. So again, just slow changes. And over time, you'll sort of learn how, if I'm just sort of taking my time here, progressing, then, I think it's a difficult process. It's a difficult process. But, another thing that, a couple adults around me told me was, it's very simple. Be nice to yourself. Maybe it seems like, oh, you're mean to yourself because that's the only realistic thing, or you set yourself to higher standards, or you sort of expect the worst. Expect the worst, be grateful for the best. And it's important to sort of have backup plans for those bad days, but don't make that your mentality. Don't make it like, oh, this is gonna go wrong and that's gonna go wrong and da 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 da, because that just puts weight down on yourself, right? And you don't want to put weight down on yourself when you're already going through a tough time. Maybe there's times where you feel like you're in isolation. You feel like you can't talk to anybody, and you sort of have to deal with things yourself. And let me just say, try to reach out to people. Do everything you can to reach out to people, because I promise you that even if it seems like there's some people that aren't willing to hear you out right now, I'm sure there's people that way, and I'm sure those people are going through their own things. So it's important to sort of find people that are willing to listen, that are able to listen, and sort of recuperate with them, because you can't do everything yourself. I've learned the hard way that I can't do everything myself. I think a lot, but the best way to think is with others. So, yeah. So, I get so into things that I kind of forget what I'm originally talking about. But stay slow on yourself. Be nicer to yourself, and just, right? Just be calm, be chill, But I like to, whenever I'm going through bad days or I feel alone or sad or mad, I try to, make plans with people or just do things that I find fun. I think socializing is very fun. I think socializing does help a lot. Even if it's just you and a buddy, just sort of chilling. Maybe you're not doing anything too excited. Maybe instead of it could be anything from oh, we're going to a theme park, to, oh, we're just sort of at their house, just chilling, watching TV or something. I don't know. Do you guys watch TV anymore? I'm old, but find time. And this might be something I go into in a later episode, but reaching out to others and not making yourself so alone. If you make yourself alone, then again, that's gonna break you, just sort of break you. And yeah, because the thing is, when you are in a tough time and you feel like you can't talk to anybody, the only person you can really talk to is yourself. But if you aren't being nice to yourself, the only person in your life is not helping at all. So it's important to sort of, right? Rewire that brain to make it sort of, make it go from a negative, boom, to a positive. Sorry, I'll make that more equal for you guys. Boom, positive. So, yeah. The Thinker podcast, when I did, back in my days, when I did therapy at school, because I'm not in school anymore, I'm a thinker, I'm an adult, so I don't go to school anymore, but when I went to school, I would, what's the word? When I had counseling with my, when I had counseling with my counselor, it wasn't all just sort of talk, talk about your problems. We sort of have fun here. I look really crazy right now, don't I? I think I look insane right now. But anyways, let me clear my mind, because the thinker thinks a lot of thoughts. But when I did sort of counseling over at school, it's taken me a while to get this thought down, but okay, hold on, give me a second. busy place I'm at right now, trying to film this video, but let's do a calming exercise. Let's do a calming exercise for you and for me. But okay, we're gonna do something I like to call it's the seconds vary, but it's gonna be 5, 5, 10. We're gonna inhale for 5, hold for 5, and exhale for 10. Actually, hiss for 10. So let me show you an example. Now you try it with me. I look crazy right now. I look crazy right now, but okay, an important thing I need to address. Dealing with emotions, dealing with your anger. Some people think that like, oh, the best way for me to sort of get rid of my anger is to bang, 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 right? That's not not correct. That's not correct. That's not just from not even like, oh, sorry. Not even like from personal experience, that doesn't help at all. Just sort of screaming and yelling at that's not how to deal with. That's not how to deal with things. Doing stuff like breathing exercises, talking to people, but if you don't want to sort of let that steam off on other people, that's understandable and pretty considerate of you. So congratulations, you are not that horrible. Okay, I need to watch my words. You are being considerate of others, and I thank you for that. But yeah, instead of banging on stuff, sort of blah 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 blah, right? Give me a second here, people. Give me a second here, people. But instead of right? Do something you enjoy. Take yourself out of whatever situation is making you mad. Like, I don't know, let's say you're playing a video game. Like, back to my original thought that I never finished. When I was doing counseling, my counselor didn't just sort of talk to me about my issues. Obviously, that was the main thing. But we were playing games together, right? So something I might want to do on the Thinker podcast is, play a couple games. Now, I'm not the best at sort of like riddles and stuff. I'd have to go find that stuff, and I'm not, in all honesty, I'm not licensed. I'm not licensed. I know, right? The Thinker's just some guy, but but so I might be playing a couple games on the channel. Not on the channel. Sorry, yeah, on the channel, but on the potty. Is that what you guys call it? The potty. But so yeah. So honestly, what time is it? I might have to end this episode a bit short, half as short as I thought it would go. But I'll keep going, and if I run out of things to say, or I'll figure it out. I'll figure this. This was a bit of a scuffed episode, but I hope it's making you a bit more joyous, because oh my God, it's a difficult time for all of us, I'm sure. Stuff's getting more expensive. Stuff just seems like stuff's just going wrong, but it's important to again have people around you. I can't stress this enough. If it helps for you to have people around you. And maybe it's like, but I want this specific person with me, but they aren't available right now. In the nicest way possible. Too bad. I can phrase that way differently, but I think it's important to have a variety of people in your life, to not sort of put your weight all onto one person, and to not, like, once that person's unavailable, You know, I think Socrates said this line: "Never put your faith on people. You can't function once they're gone." Right? I think I heard that in like a song somewhere, but I think it was also a Socrates line. But just, you know, balance. Balance. That's a line. That's a word that I want to use. Balance. Balance the life between you and friends. Okay, let me rephrase this because it's going to sound like the same thing if I finish this statement. Balance your friends and balance you and your friends. What I mean by that is balance the reliance you have between one sort of group of friends and another group of friends. Balance that. So maybe try not to be as heavy on one group as the other. And when I say balance your friends and yourself, balance the dependence you have on other people with the stuff you're able to do yourself. Like, if you're able to do it yourself, that's great. You don't always have to go to other people. But if you feel it's necessary, if you feel like, oh, I'm having a bit of trouble, get to it, then I'd say reach out before stuff gets bad. Because you don't want stuff getting too bad, right, guys? So, yeah. Don't do that. That's bad etiquette. I don't know how many of you are percussionists. I'm not. That was off the fly. But all I know is should not be doing that. Don't do that. But time is 4:26. Seems like I gotta get going. Thank you guys. Oh wait, I forgot the glasses are part of my character. Thank you guys for listening to Thinker. Yeah, this one might be a bit more scuffed, but that's just how life is. Life isn't always perfect, but it's important to have patience. Thinker out. Actually, I need to think of creative solutions. Thinker out. You guys like that? Tell me in the comments below if you like that. Thank you guys.